Hey, I think we're back here. Howdy. Hello. Hello. All right, hey, it's Justin. Another week on eBay has passed, so let's see how we did. It looks like for the week I had $1,518 in gross sales and $738 in net income, 611% ROI for the week. Only a 46% net profit margin. Usually my profit margin runs about 50% to 60%, so that just means I'm selling more expensive items, things that I paid more money for. Looks like for the week I had 49 new listings over the last 7 days and 36 sales over the last 7 days. Definitely better than the week prior. Week prior was just after Christmas. This week picked up pretty well though, and I listed almost 50 things and had 36 sales. Looks like I spent a total of $296 on the stuff that I sold this week. Average time to sell on that stuff is 2 months. Let's go ahead and dig into the top 10. Coming at number 10 is this Rock Band Nintendo Wii Guitar. I have stopped buying these Rock Band guitars unless the neck detaches. They're expensive to ship, and I don't like shipping big items like this, and so I still buy the Rock Band or Guitar Hero guitars if the neck comes off. And so you can check, you turn around the back, and you'll see there's a little release, and the neck comes off, and it's much easier and cheaper to ship. But this one sold for $43.99 with free shipping. Shipping cost $13.64, so not too bad. It's more about finding the right box. It's just an annoying size to find the right box. Yeah, so only $13.64 to ship. My net return on this was $18.88, and that's 378% ROI for the 10th best flip of the week. I paid $5 at a garage sale back in June. Coming in at number 9 is this mint green Fiesta Weare. So this is a great brand to look out for, Fiesta Weare. This actually, you can't really tell from this photo, but it's quite large. This was, the size of a good salad bowl, I would say, with the lid. But Fiesta Weare is a great brand. It's a vintage brand. They make it new items as well, so they're not all vintage, but I believe this one was a vintage piece. Looks like it sold pretty quickly, only 2 hours to sell after listing, and we made $24.37 on that. That was a $40 sale plus $14.99 in shipping. What did we pay? We paid $10 at an estate sale, and it was a 244% ROI. It was a weird estate sale. It was in an old abandoned grocery store in a not great part of town, and we were standing waiting to get in line. We saw this on the front door as we were waiting to get in, so a little scary, but we got in there and found some good stuff, and everything was fine. Net return on this one was $24.37, only $13.82 to ship. I remember this thing was pretty heavy and pretty big, but yeah, we made $25 off the deal, and it sold in 2 hours, so Fiesta Weare is a great brand to look out for. Coming in at number 8 is this FootJoy thermal base underlayer. So this is like a shirt that you might wear underneath a jacket. FootJoy is a golf brand. FJ is the logo. You probably would recognize it. Great brand to look out for. Very desirable, very valuable. And this was a double XL underlayer. I got this at a sporting goods store that was going out of business. It's Dick's Sporting Goods outlet store was going out of business, and so they were slashing the prices on a whole bunch of stuff. Y'all may have seen a video a few weeks back with me showing off a bunch of Patagonia stuff. I got that at that same store. Paid $9.99. It took 21 days to sell, so 3 weeks. Net return on it was $26.16. We sold it for $46.98. That's $39.99 plus $6.99 in shipping, and the ROI was 262%. So that's FootJoy. Again, good brand to look out for. This was new with tags. Even if it wasn't new with tags, I probably still would have bought it though. It's a great brand that has a good sell-through rate. Coming in at number 7 is this Swift thermometer. It's a barometer thermometer. It is made out of mahogany. I bought this at an estate sale. Strangely, it sold in 41 minutes. And I thought for a second there, I was like, did I underprice this? What's going on? It's a quite large piece. It's 32 inches end to end. But the sell-through rate really was not that good. I was not expecting to sell this very quickly. I paid $5 at an estate sale, and 41 minutes after listing, it sold for $54.98. So I have no idea why it did. I'm not complaining at all, but I was expecting to hold on to it for a while before it sold, but happy to get it out the door. That was a 535% ROI, net return of $26.76. A little expensive to ship, $16.38. I had charged $14.99 for shipping though. That was the 7th best flip of the week, is that Swift thermometer. It was made in England. In case you want to know where that was made, it was made in England. Coming in at number 6 is this Patagonia Sherling Crew pullover. Also came from Dick's Sporting Goods. I got 2 of these. I paid $32 each. They were new with tags. They had a MSRP of $130. You'll see I called that out in the title. This one, I have one left, but the one that I sold for $78.98. And again, because I had $32 into it, the ROI was only 90%, but I did get a net return of $28.91. So pretty happy with that. I've got another one to sell. Patagonia obviously is a great brand. It's new with tags. You know it's going to sell. $5 5 days for that one to sell for the 6th best flip of the week. On to number 5 is this vintage Sega Genesis Box. This is a really interesting one. I got this at an estate sale. I only paid $1 on it. It was that same estate sale that I got that skateboard from just a few weeks ago on the video. But this one, it had a Sega Genesis inside. When I got it home and looked at it, the Sega Genesis inside, though, was different. It was not the one that was on the box. I sold the Sega Genesis for like $50, but it turns out that this box, this was the box only. I did not sell the console. This was only the box. It did have a receipt, the original receipt, which is kind of cool. They bought it at Target with some high C also. But yeah, the box only sold for $59.98. That's $45 plus $15 in shipping. And I ended up netting $33.77 on it. A little bit expensive to ship, $19.65. That's just because it was a relatively big box and it was probably going somewhere on the West Coast. I would imagine that's usually my most expensive place to ship. Donna, Texas. It was going to Texas, so never mind. Anyway, so yeah, it was a surprise. I was going to sell the console with the box, but because the console didn't match the box, I sold them separately, and I ended up making a ton more money than I would have otherwise for the 5th best flip of the week. Coming in at number 4 is this Manola Lens. I bought this at a garage sale this past summer for $5, it looks like, and I ended up netting $36.49. It took 7 months to sell, and it was a 730% ROI on this one. Lenses can be great to look for. I don't know a whole lot about them. I know that you do need to check the lenses for mold. And so what you do is you look under the glass, and typically you might see some spots that don't wipe off because you can't access it. That's mold growing inside the glass. And that's a good way to get them returned. And so make sure you take a look for that. Make sure there's no mold before you buy them. But this was I think I bought this one with a bunch of other camera equipment, and this is just a lingering one that had not yet sold, but it came in for number 4 on the best flip of the week with $36.49 for net return and a 730% ROI. Looks like I had to do a couple of relists on this one before it finally went out the door. But super interesting. Relisting, depending on who you ask, some people think ending and relisting or selling similar is a good thing. Some people think it doesn't do anything. I'm in the camp that it does do a lot. This is a great example where I had this listed on June 17th. I ended the listing on December 28th. I relisted it on December 28th. And it sold 2 days later. So it's set for 7 months, and then when I relisted it, it sold in 2 days. So I'm a big fan of ending and relisting. It often leads to sales that I don't think I would have gotten otherwise. On to number 3 is this Toshiba DVD VHS Combo player. These things are just like bread and butter items for me. Anytime I see them and they're priced well, I always buy them. This one was $5 at an estate sale. You got to test them. You got to put a VHS tape in there and play and pause, rewind, do all that good stuff. You got to put a DVD in there to test it. I've stopped buying these at thrift stores. Sometimes if they're really cheap, I will buy them. But I find when I buy them at thrift stores, often they are broken, and so it's just not worth it for me at this point. But in an estate sale, a garage sale, typically they're better taken care of. This one worked great. Had the remote. It sold in 8 hours for $74.98 for a $50 net return. The 3rd best flip of the week, 1,000% ROI. Not too bad to ship, $12.59. Again, just a great thing to look out for. These things are always in high demand. And the reason is they don't make them anymore. There's no companies out there manufacturing new VHS players or new VHS DVD players, or if they are, they're just some weird off-brand and they're not going to work really well. If you can find these things new in the box, by the way, they're incredible. I think I sold one new in the box, a different brand, but it was a VHS DVD combo in the box for like $600. So if you can find them new in the box, definitely pick them up. But even heavily used, they sell quickly. Also at this estate sale, I saw one of my viewers, Dan, so good to meet you. Coming in at number 2 is this Star Wars R2-D2 Instant Pot. So this is a kind of funny one. My wife found it actually. It was at that same estate sale from earlier with the sign outside in the abandoned grocery store. Very weird one. We were on our way out leaving, but my wife happened to catch this. And so there were tons of resellers here and nobody happened to notice this one. Tons of people walked right by this not knowing that it had the value that it did. $157 this thing sold for. It took 4 days to sell. Net return on it, $81.38, a 203% ROI. But this was a great one to find for the 2nd best flip of the week, which leads us to number 1. This Hot Wheels Tesla Cybertruck. This is a really interesting one, and I'm kind of nervous about it, and I'll tell you why. I bought this over 2 years ago, and so Mattel had announced the Cybertruck Hot Wheels car, this remote control Hot Wheels car. I don't typically buy things like this. This was brand new when I bought it. I had the feeling, well, maybe this thing will gain value, or maybe it will sell out and be hard to get. A lot of Tesla branded things tend to be that way. So I went ahead and did it. I paid $106 for it new, and then the market dropped out. It never grew in price. They never ran out. I guess they made a ton of them, and so I kind of figured I'd I just made a bad decision on this one, but I left it listed and honestly just completely forgot about it. I forgot that I had it, but it sold yesterday. And so I was like, oh, wow, interesting. Maybe they have risen in value. The Cybertruck has just been released. You know, they're into production now. Maybe they've gone up in value, but it's not. I have no idea why this person paid $300 because you can get it for much less. In fact, I'll show you right here. So you can see here, look at this. I just searched for my exact title. There's my listing sold for $299. Here's one sold for $95, $90, $80. These are all brand new. Why did someone pay $300 for mine? I have no idea, but I'm not complaining. I'm kind of worried that this person's going to, look it up and eventually notice that they paid 3 times the amount that it's worth and ask for a return. If they do, I'll say, sure, go ahead. You can return it and make them send it back. But fingers crossed. I think I got lucky and this person just did not do their research and they paid 3 times the amount of what the value is on it. I ended up netting $148.82. The ROI on it is 140%. Cost to ship was $9.90 here. Took 2 years to sell and a very weird one. Hopefully it doesn't come back, but that was the best flip of the week. $150 on this one net. Let's take a look at what sold the fastest here. So if I go back in here and do my time to sell, it looks like, oh, right, that Swift thermometer took 41 minutes to sell. That's crazy. The Fiesta Weare only took 2 hours to sell. That VHS player took 8 hours to sell. Looks like I sold a shoulder strap of some sort that took 4 days. That R2-D2 took 4 days. This vintage Lionel train watch took 5 days. So these are a couple of things that sold quickly. Nothing super crazy though, except for that Swift thermometer. I still can't believe that thing went out in 41 minutes. Horrible sell-through rate. I probably shouldn't even have bought it. I just guess I caught the right buyer at the right time. And they all can't be winners. Let's see what did not do very well. Yes, this Anthropology bowl. This was actually a personal buy. We only lost money on it because this is something that we paid full price for. And I don't remember, I think we broke one of our own bowls like this, and so we had to order several of them. We couldn't just buy one of them. I don't know. I can't remember. For some reason, we sold this, but we sold it for a loss, so it won't be taxed. That's nice. Looks like this Build-A-Bear sold for $16 free shipping, net return of $2.76. Took 7 months. Build-A-Bear can be a really great brand to look out for. A vast majority of Build-A-Bear stuff is not worth it. Build-A-Bear is actually a St. Louis company where I live here in St. Louis, so I end up seeing a lot of unique and different Build-A-Bears, and some of those can be really valuable. I've sold Build-A-Bears for $50, $60, $70, $80. Most of them are not worth it. If it's a bear, it's not worth it unless it has some sort of special clothing on it. Like I've sold a Build-A-Bear with a Girl Scout uniform on it. That did okay. So usually Build-A-Bears are good if they're have some sort of crossover with another brand. This was just, I don't know, this was not worth it. I must have bought it before I knew that which Build-A-Bears were worth it or not. I actually just found a really good Build-A-Bear. Check this one out. This one's a donkey. Build-A-Bear donkey. I've got this one listed for $54 that I bought just a couple days ago for $4. So some Build-A-Bears can do really good. Usually it's just a unique animal, like a donkey, for example. If it's a bear or a horse or just something generic, it's usually not going to do very well. If it's a crossover with some other brand like Star Wars, it may do a little bit better, but keep an eye out for Build-A-Bear stuff. What else didn't do very well? Yeah, some Pokemon stuff here. I had a Pokemon board game from 1999 that I just parted out into a bunch of different sales. This one sold for $9.99 free shipping. I made $3.31 on it. Here's another one of those Pokemon pieces that I parted out. I made $7 on this one. So yeah, they can't all be winners. A lot of these I netted under $10. All right, so that's about it. How did I do again? I did $1,500 gross, $738 net, 611% ROI, 46% net profit margins. I will not be here next week. I'm going on vacation. My store will be on vacation mode. I will be going to Disney World in Orlando with my family. I'm running the Disney World Marathon on Sunday, so wish me luck. But I'll be back the week following, and I'll start these videos back up again. And if you like these videos, check out all these other What Sold videos. I do these every week, and so if you like this one, you might like this one or this one. Click these buttons directly above my head, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks. Bye.